through that way. Hello, well, welcome to Real Conversations with Patricia. I'm your host, Patty Baranowski Schneider. Today I'm joined by Keldamuzik, also known as Diva. She's an American hip hop artist, actress, producer, and TV host. So, welcome, Keldamuzik. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure.
Yes, I'm a hip hop artist, everything that you just mentioned. I've actually been in the entertainment industry since I was a child. It was one of those situations where, your parents kind of wanted to live their dreams through you, you know, which was perfectly fine,
Right.
because for me, it like opened me up more socially,
Okay.
and because of that, like I was always like known as the class clown, the popular girl in school,
Right.
just pretty much just having a fun social butterfly life.
Nice.
Yeah. And so, it started off with acting when I was a kid. And then as I, got older, started dabbling into modeling and then music. And
Nice.
now that I have achieved a certain amount of success in music, I'm bringing everything back full circle with
Okay.
the acting and now, hosting a TV show, as well as launching my own line of berets
Nice.
called Tamz. Yeah. So it's
Jack of
just so
all
many
trades.
things. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Wow, that's awesome.
Thank
Now,
you.
what inspired your stage name Diva? How does it reflect your personality and artistry?
Yeah, so when it comes to the music industry, especially in the hip hop industry, no one has really branded the name diva, and when people use the word diva, the context of it, I think, is misleading. So I've changed that context into something that's more friendlier, lighter, and that also inspire women to want to be divas. My message behind diva is a woman who is independent, powerful, successful, and knows what she wants. And it's not about having a bad attitude. It's not about being arrogant or stuck up. It's just about being a leader within your own field.
Like it. Hey, and you know what? All
Yes.
girls should be divas.
Yeah, there you go.
Now tell us, as a hip hop artist, how has your music evolved over the years, and what message do you hope to convey through your work?
Definitely. So, I'm a writer. First and foremost, I'm a writer, and I'm someone who just thinks about everything strategically and logically. So if I'm writing a song, I really want the next person to feel how I feel, right? Great example, Taylor Swift, right? So many girls could relate to her
Right.
because Taylor Swift is like the girl sitting in her room, looking outside the window, writing in her diary
Right.
about her day, her boyfriends, So
Right.
I kind of look at it as the same thing, when I write music, how is this girl or this person, how are they going to feel when they hear this song? I want them to feel like they're me right
Right.
now in my
Right.
shoes. So it's continued to evolve by just all the current events, everything that's going on, and that definitely impacts what how I write, what I write about, which music I choose, who I choose to collaborate with, and so many other things.
Wow, very nice. But I do
Yes.
like that because it's so funny when that's how people like fall in love with half of these songs. It's like, oh my God, I totally know what she's
Exactly.
going through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Now, you've had a diverse career in acting and producing. So, how do you approach these creative ventures compared to your music career?
Yeah, so for example, my first short film that I produced called Love the Original Way, that was in 2016, I believe. What inspired me to produce that film was there was a lot of rom-com films coming out at the time in theaters, right? And so I said, you know what? I want to make a rom-com myself. I've never been in a romantic film or
Right.
lovey-dovey, anything like that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this on my own. And the approach that I took compared to music is it was a little bit easier because everyone doesn't mind being in a film, whether they're being an extra, whether they have a lead role, featured role, anything
Right.
like that, you know. Whereas with music, you kind of have to sort things out based on that person's sound, their lyrical ability,
Yeah.
their voice. Whereas, you know, with acting, especially a low budget
Mhm.
short film, it's I just cast all my friends to be in it.
Right.
And however, you know, I did have to pay for the production, but that was fairly cheap, and they worked with me, and yeah, it turned out to be a success.
Nice. Love success stories.
Yes, definitely.
Now, hosting a talk show on Tubi, it's a unique platform. So, what inspired you to
Yes.
step into the role, and what topics or stories resonate most with your audience?
Yeah, so just me having like a bubbly, fun, perky personality. I've always wanted to just like talk to the camera
Right.
and talk to people on the camera. And people have always told me, hey, you're good at interviewing other people because
Right.
we're just having a conversation. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's not like an interrogation or
Right.
anything. You know what I mean? We're just having a fun conversation. Might as well be having a couple beers or a cup of tea
Yeah.
or something, you know?
Right.
And at first, when I started Diva Talk Tonight, I started it off with the idea what Chelsea Handler used to do, right? She used to have her panel of regulars, and then she would bring on a special guest at
Right.
night. So it started off in that format, and then it evolved to including skits like Saturday Night Live,
Right.
right? So I used to call it a entertainment comedy show.
Right.
From there, it branched off to just specifically a talk show,
Okay.
where I'm bringing in all types of guests within the entertainment industry and some outside the entertainment industry. And then I had the Diva Dive, which were, you know, a table of pretty girls that were kind of like my co-hosts, right?
Right.
I would bounce everything, I would banter with them, right?
Okay.
And so anything I say, I'm just like, yeah, a Diva Dive, you know, and they would respond back, and, you know, eye candy. But
Right.
yeah, the show is being distributed on several platforms. Oh, yes, we have Tubi so far, CPix, we're on True TV Plus, and we're about to go live on Zone TV as well.
Wow.
So the show just continues to keep moving forward, and
Nice.
sooner or later, I'm gonna have to start creating more content for it. So
That's awesome, though. But obviously,
yeah.
you see people are enjoying it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be growing. So that's a good
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Now, tell us your fashion line, Tamz, it focuses on berets, as you mentioned. So, what drew you
Yes,
to create the line, and how does it represent your personal style?
definitely. It was during the pandemic when I created it, and you know, it was during that time where we're all trying to discover another source of income and
Right.
what could benefit the community, the world, and at the same time make you money and keep your brand alive. And no one has really in pop culture, no one has branded a beret. You know, you have everyone branding makeup and wigs and clothes.
Right.
Hey, why not a beret? You know what I mean? And it's for anybody.
Yeah.
But I have 10 different colors, and I've also been donating the berets to a lot of
Nice.
hair loss
Oh,
organizations.
okay. Nice.
Yeah, and it was 2 years ago I donated a bunch of berets to Boldly Me, which is alopecia
Okay.
foundation, and they invited me to come speak at
Oh, how
their
cool.
fundraiser, annual fundraiser.
Nice. That's
So
awesome.
yeah, a lot going on with it.
Yeah. So, giving back. I love it. It's nice.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Now, with so many roles as an artist, actress, producer, and entrepreneur, how do you manage to balance them all while staying creative?
Yeah. Well, I always make sure I get 8 hours of sleep, if not more.
Okay.
And oh my gosh, I just wish there was like so much more time in the day, you
Yeah.
know. But creating a healthy balance for yourself.
Right.
Sleep, eat well, but still eat good.
Right.
Exercise, you know, even if it's just 10 minutes out of the
Yeah.
day, you
Right.
know, there's so many things you could do to get your heart rate up and to break out a sweat,
Right.
right? Also, I will binge on Netflix films and
Just unwind.
exactly, just unwind,
Yeah.
just unwind. And when it's time to get to work, then it's focus time.
Right.
So it's all about management, and organizational skills
Mhm.
and time management.
Right.
When you have those three things in place, everything becomes simple for you.
Mhm. Yeah, it is hard to try to find that, because people always say, I don't have time. You could find the time. Well, you always say you find the time for what you want, but never for what you need. You have to put yourself
Right.
first. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's cool. So now tell us, as a successful woman in the entertainment industry, what advice would you
Yes.
give to young women looking to make their mark in music, film, or fashion?
Yeah, I would say hone your craft, learn every aspect of the business,
Right.
and also network and support those who are successful in the industry,
Right.
right? So you're learning from your leaders.
Mhm.
That's the best way to do it. It's no better than being an intern at a hospital or law
Mhm.
office anywhere, right?
Right.
It's no better than just stepping your feet into the water, testing the waters to see if
Right.
this is really for you, if you really like it, and if you know that you can be successful at it.
Right.
So learn who your leaders are in your field, network with them, rub elbows, and continue to support them because it's going to come back full circle where they're going to eventually support you.
Mm. That's awesome because it is true. So many people like mentors and stuff. Once
Yeah,
upon a time, that wasn't a thing, but
yeah,
now I'm glad that people are starting to do that because you get to know. Like I've had people contact me for what I do, and I've actually had somebody do it. They did their college thesis on talking to me because I can tell you what you want to hear. I could tell you how it is, and I'm just going to tell you point blank. This is how it is. It's good, but I'll tell you the
yeah,
good, the bad, and the ugly, and you figure out if that's what you want to do. And people
exactly.
love that, and it's like you'll learn more from people in the industry because everybody just thinks, oh, fashion entertainment, it's just this glorious life. You're away from
Right.
home, you're away from your family, blah, blah, blah. I mean, like you say, sometimes it's, 20 hours a day. You have to really
Yeah.
understand the ins and outs and see if that's what you want. So good
Yeah,
advice.
it's a business like any other business.
Yeah.
You have to invest in yourself. You have to, take time away from friends and family and
Mm.
really just go for it.
Yeah. Now, tell us, what are some of the biggest challenges you faced in your career and how'd you overcome them?
Yes, there's been many challenges. One challenge is being a woman and having to prove yourself and not being overlooked and not. Um, there's a lot of toe stepping going
Mhm.
on in the industry, and it happens to a lot of women. And it's happened to me so many times by other women. So, and how I overcome those challenges is, you just stay patient and you continue to work on what you have going on.
Right.
And you kind of narrow down your circle, your
Right.
friend circle, your networking circle, even certain family members. You make your circle smaller and smaller and surround yourself with those who you can trust.
Yeah. No, I definitely it is true because I do the same. It's like, what do they say? I forget the actual expression, but not everybody's your friend. So you really have
Yeah.
to figure out who are your supporters, who are your friends, who can you rely on, who can you lean on, blah blah blah. And it's a rough road sometimes, but eventually you see the success pays off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
it's so funny. I think it was Taylor Swift herself. She said it's lonely at the top, and
Yeah.
she said not because I want it to be, but
Right.
as she continues to elevate and grow and become more successful and achieve more
Right.
milestones, it's automatically leaving a lot of people behind because
Yeah.
they're not running with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're jogging, they're walking, they're
Right.
crawling, but
Yeah.
she's running, she's speeding.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you got to leave certain people behind,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I mean, but even look at poor Britney Spears once upon a time. I mean, your life
yeah,
becomes something totally different, whether you want it or not. And
yeah,
you're under the spotlight. I mean, there's a lot involved in it. So,
yes,
sometimes you keep your circle small, keep out of trouble. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I love Britney
I
Spears.
know I
Always
do
been a
too.
fan.
Now tell us, you're known for connecting deeply with your audience. So how do you maintain authenticity and keep your fans engaged across your various platforms?
Definitely. It's always about being realistic with people, right? Like you said, being authentic. So, creating videos and talking to people, right? I know it's funny, we think to ourselves when we're alone and we're talking to our camera, it's like we're talking to ourselves,
Yeah.
but no, but really we're talking to our fans. Um, it's always good to not only talk to your fans, but share personal life situations,
Hmm.
even if bad or good,
Keeps you real.
hey,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Hey, this is what I did today, and hey, I got into a car accident,
Mm.
or just it's all about relating to people,
Right.
right? And that's the thing in music. When we sing or rap, dance, make music, whatever the case may be, we're relating to people who
Right.
can relate to us. And so that's the key thing, is being authentic and just showing who you really are to
Right.
people.
Yeah.
um, I know that a lot of artists have social media managers that work
Right.
on their behalf.
Right.
I had that a few times, but I figured that's not working. That's not
Right.
keeping me in the loop or in the know with
Right.
what's going on in the world. So,
Right.
so I took over myself.
Nice, very good. But
Yeah.
it is cool because you can always tell, I mean, I work in marketing, so obviously, you could always tell when you're talking to the actual person or someone from marketing because my job is to sell you. But I'm not
Yeah.
being, I'm not telling you personally what I felt today because I don't know. I'm just here to market you. So
Yeah.
it's totally different. I mean, you can have a marketing part-time, but then you
Sure.
want to chime in every now and then and just give your 2 cents on things because people will know it's you.
Exactly, exactly. They can tell by the tone,
Yeah,
what you're writing and
right.
how you're spelling your words.
Yeah,
And sometimes when things come off a little bit too perfect, too professional,
right.
it's like it kind of detaches people away
Yeah,
from you, draws
yeah.
them away.
Yeah,
So,
because no one's all
yeah.
that perfect. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. So now tell us what's next for you. Are there any exciting projects, collaborations, or expansions of your brand that you're currently working on?
Yes, so next I'll be working on a Christmas film.
Nice.
It will be my first feature film,
Wow.
self-produced. And I figure like, oh my gosh, there are so many
Mhm.
Christmas movies out there. There's so many streaming platforms, and it's just like, where are all these films streaming? How did they come about? And I figure, hey, well, I need to get my hands wet in that part of the game too.
Why not?
So yeah, why not?
And it's memorable because it's a holiday theme. That's awesome.
And it will always stream every holiday.
Right. That's
What
awesome.
can you do? So yeah, I'll be working on that, and then I'll be working on another film too called Lost Horizons, where I'm going to be stranded somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and I'm going to
Wow.
try to survive.
Oh boy.
Um,
Good luck with that one.
exactly, exactly. We'll
Depends
see
where
what
you are.
happens. Right? Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So, how can people get a hold of you and learn more about you and buy berets and all that good stuff?
Sure, yes. I like to say go to my website,
Okay.
keldamuzik.com. That's KELDAMUZIK.com. From there you could catch up on all my latest music releases,
Mhm.
videos, talk show info, a sitcom that I'll be starring in, as well as
You don't in 8 hours of 8 hours of sleep.
yeah, right?
I'm tired just listening to all you're doing.
Yes, it is. It's like almost overwhelming, to hear like, oh my God, what don't you do? But yeah, visit my website, keldermusic.com. Everything's on there, even the beret line. And also my company, Diggs Media Group. We offer digital marketing services, PR as well. So yeah, that's my palace, that's my world.
Nice, awesome. Well, thank you again for being on the show. Again, that was Keldamuzik, Miss Diva. So thanks for listening to Real Conversations with Patricia. Never miss an episode by subscribing to the channel. Thank you again.
Thank you.